welcome. My name's Danielle, and today we're introducing two new products from GERNÉTIC. We're going to do some training on the Lift Ampule and the Flash Ampule. I'm really excited about these brand new products and incredible results, but I just want to get down to how we differentiate which ones we use and what the two different ampules do and how we use them at home and how we use them in salon. So let's look first at what an ampule is. So simply put, a skin ampule, they're supercharged serums with a higher concentration of active ingredients. So when we put them in these ampule formats, they are very, very powerful in what they're going to do to the skin. So much like a shot of your serum. They're a bit like a doctor's prescriptions. Ampules don't make it into our regular routine. They're used for a short period of time or a weekly booster. Ampules are a product designed to deliver high concentration of active ingredients to the skin. The ingredients in these ampules have a very small molecular weight and size, allowing them to penetrate easily and to be able to quickly target the skin cells directly and encourage the appropriate action. So we'll look at what those actions are as we go through the ingredients. The GERNÉTIC ampules can be used in the treatment room and they can be used at home. Now, the packaging of them, they come in a box like this, and we'll look at them in more detail as we go through, but the salon and the retail are packaged the same, but they can be both used either as a salon treatment or at home for your client. Okay, so we're going to look at the difference between the Lift and the Flash ampules. So both of these ampules, they will come in a box, and they will come as a box of 7 ampules. Each of those ampules is 2 ml. So we have the Lift ampule, and the Lift ampule, when you look at it, is bright blue in color. So the bright blue one is for our ages 25 plus, and the action it has on the skin, it has an instant lifting effect, and we'll look at the ingredients that do that. But it also contains a plant extract, and that plant extract is called marfane, but that has a Botox effect. And again, we'll go into more details with that, but it's going to give the muscles a relaxed expression, and it's going to soften those lines and wrinkles. It will also help to prevent lines and wrinkles from appearing. So it has a preventative action by minimizing the appearance of lines and wrinkles. It's going to work on stimulating the production of collagen and elastin in there, so it has a plumping and firming action as well. Now, the Flash ampule, this one is sage green in color, and this again, you have that box of 7 ampules, and each of those ampules is 2 ml. This one is for our ages 35 plus. Now, when I say age 35 plus, it's a little bit difficult to put an exact time frame on it. This is for clients that are starting to get those deeper lines and wrinkles, and aging is more apparent on the skin. This again has an immediate mechanical tensor effect, and we'll look at the ingredient that does that. That's going to lift the skin. It's going to work on the barrier function of the skin, and it works predominantly on skin immunity. And we're going to look at the immune response, and we're going to look at how inflammation will affect aging in the skin. The Flash ampule is also going to work on our cell turnover. It's going to work on our collagen and elastin, but it will also work to drain the lymphatic system and reduce any visible puffiness on the skin as well. So let's start to look in more detail at our Lift ampule. As I said, we're saying 25 plus, but this is for those first signs of aging. So if you see that somebody is getting maybe a few lines and they're starting to show a little bit of signs of aging, then they can definitely use this ampule. So it's for clients wishing to prevent the deepening of lines and wrinkles, and it's clients for looking for instant firming, and those seeking a radiant complexion. Who will be not give it to? It's not for very sensitive skin. So anyone with eczema, irritated, reactive or sensitive skins, it's not going to be for those, because as we said, it's a boosting serum for aging. So let's look at how our skin starts to age when we're looking in our 20s. So in our mid-20s, the natural aging process begins to unfold. It is gradual. We don't one day just wake up and we've got lines and wrinkles. It's a gradual process that obviously does not show for many years, but the biological changes are at work. So expression lines are the first wrinkles that appear, and they appear around the age of 25 to 30. And they're caused by those emotions. When we laugh, frown, or cry, you make your facial muscles contract. So if you imagine every time those muscles contract, that line will get deeper and deeper. And as I've put here, it's a bit like folding a sheet of paper. The more you fold it, the deeper the fold gets. So over time, these repetitive expressions reduce the skin's elasticity and its ability to regain a perfect smoothness. This phenomenon therefore leads directly to those lines and wrinkles forming long term. So each type of wrinkle marks a specific part of the face. They're most located on the forehead, around the eyes, and around the mouth. So the first ones we see are maybe these 11 lines here between the eyebrows, or maybe we start to get some lines just around the wrinkle, around the eyes. So the benefits of the Lift Ampule, it's a powerful 2-in-1 action. So it contains a plant extract that helps relax those facial muscles, offering a Botox effect, which prevents wrinkles and lines from deepening. It also has an immediate smoothing and visible radiance effect thanks to surface mechanical tensor, and we'll look at that now. So first ingredient here is our taro seeds. And I've got this image here and you can see it's like she's got a webbing over her skin. And that's exactly what this does. When you apply this ampule to the skin, it sits on the skin and it will give an instant lift, a little bit like a bra in a jar. It will lift the skin. So taro seeds are derived from a thorny shrub native to Peru, and they're rich in polysaccharides. And polysaccharides are just a form of glucose or a sugar. So polysaccharides contained in the Lift Ampule form a resistant 3-dimensional matrix on the skin surface, and they give an instant lift. It immediately stretches and tightens on application, and then that water that's in there evaporates, leaving that lifted effect on the skin. The depth of wrinkles is visibly reduced and the skin appears smooth, lift and rejuvenated. So you can see this is a great product to use during the day because it's going to give that instant lift and radiance to the skin. So those polysaccharides have an excellent capacity to prevent dehydration as well. So they hold water in the skin and they prevent that chil or transepidermal water loss. So that first ingredient there, our taro seed, is giving that instant lift. Now the next ingredient here is marfane, and you can see from my picture here we've got that frowning here, and this is the one that acts as a Botox effect in the skin. So marfane is a herb from Madagascar. It has a natural Botox effect. We know when we use Botox, it paralyzes those muscles and it stops when we go to frown, we're unable to, because those nerves have literally been removed from contact and we can't create that frown. So marfane has the advantage of acting like Botox, but it respects the natural movement of the face because its action remains light. So it's not going to give us a frozen effect, but it will stop those muscle contractions from being so strong. So that means that we don't get these deeper lines and wrinkles. So like Botox, marfane extract impairs the ability of nerve cells to cause muscle cells to contract, thus leading to a more relaxed and smoother face. So it's helping to prevent the deepening of those expression lines. It gives a smoother, more youthful look to the skin, and it's going to slow the aging process. It's going to stop those lines from getting deeper and deeper. The other ingredient we have in here is chicory root extract, and this is our chicory down here. Chicory is an anti-inflammatory herb, which makes it wonderful for calming and soothing the skin. The main action we've got in here is to boost the skin's collagen production. Obviously, collagen production starts to slow with age, and the chicory is going to work on increasing that collagen production and thickening and plumping the skin. So chicory naturally also contains inulin. Inulin is a great prebiotic, and that prebiotic is going to help to preserve the appearance of the skin by balancing the skin's microbiome as well. So you've got that added advantage in there as well. So let's look at how we use these ampules. So as I said, with the ampules, they do come in a box, and I'll show you. You open it up and you can see those 7 ampules there. I suggest you open the end of the box and you actually slide it out as well. So let's look at the Lift Express and how we use it. So when we receive the product, as I say, salon and retail the same, you're going to have a box. You can open it up and you've got those 7 bright blue ampules there. Each one is 2 ml. To get them out, you can either take them from the front and just remove it, but I want to show you something here because unless you open the box up completely, you won't know it's there. So from the side, if we slide the ampules out, we can see that there is an ampule with a dropper and a little dropper here, and there's also a little plastic sheath here that is used to break the ampule. So we remove our ampule, and then we've got this plastic over the top here, and we're going to use that just to break the ampule. And in the end of the box, as I showed you, we've got a little dropper here as well. So what we can do is we can put that on there, and that will allow us then to turn the product over, and we can apply half of the product onto our fingertips, and then we can apply it onto the skin. So we're not going to overhandle this. We're going to just press it onto the skin, and we're going to use half an ampule. Keep the other half, and you've got that dropper there. That's going to keep it hygienic, and then you'll continue. So you're going to use that for 2 days, and then you'll take your next ampule, and again, you'll break it with the breaker to snap it at the neck, and you can take your dropper off the previous one and continue to use it, and that will keep your product hygienic. There is no need to keep it in the fridge. Some people have asked me if you need to keep it in the fridge. If you want to, you can. There's nothing negative, no negative consequences to doing that, but you don't need to. You can just keep that on one side, but I would say keep it out of direct sunlight. So you've got your dropper there to keep it nice and hygienic, and just keep it on your dressing table out of direct light. The face. We're going to use half an ampule. So prepare your skin with your usual routine. So you can use your glyco and fibro, and then in the morning we're going to apply half of that ampule to the face, neck and décolleté by massaging it onto the skin. So we just massage and press it into the skin, and you can use that around the eyes as well. Then we follow with your usual treatment creams. So you can use something like our lift cream or Miu Miu because they're fantastic at preventing aging, working on the first lines and wrinkles, and then follow over with your Synchro. So tip, the lift ampule can also be applied in its entirety for an instant radiance effect for a special event or for ongoing skin health benefits. So we can do this as a 14-day treatment. So we're using half of the ampule in the morning for 14 days, and we do that seasonally. Or if we want to and keep these wonderful ingredients in our routine, we can do it once or twice a week. So we can apply it onto the skin in the morning, a whole ampule, and put our day cream on, apply onto the face, neck and décolleté, and then follow with your genetic treatment creams for a boost once or twice a week. So let's look at how we use this in salon. So again, we're going to cleanse and prepare the skin with glyco and fibro, remove that and carry out our exfoliation. So we can use our Joe Peel, we can use our marine gumming cleanser. What I like to use always in this treatment is our Mito Special and Immuno. To do that preliminary step in your facial, I do suggest you use your Mito and your Immuno mask, leave that on for 10 minutes and then remove it, and then you can carry on and apply your ampule. Now with this ampule here, you can use the whole ampule underneath, and then you continue with your treatment creams like your lift cream, your Miu Miu, and carry out your massage with your Synchro cream, and then you will use your mask. We've got a selection of different masks you can use here, your anti-age peel off, that beautiful gold mask, your vegetal mask, you can use your mineral mask, then remove that and apply your protective day cream such as Symbiose at the end of the treatment. Just a tip here, do not overhandle this ampule. Remember I said that it's got a very small molecular structure to it. So when we put it onto our hands, before we apply it to the client's skin, don't overhandle that product because it's then going to go into us and not into the client. So just put it onto the hands and straight onto the client. The other thing we can do with this, if you want to split the use of that ampule, is the ampule can also be split on application in the facial. So you could use 2/3 of that lift ampule where we spoke about before. So after our Mito Special and our Immuno mask, you could put 2/3 on. Then you can carry out the rest of the treatment. And then just before you put your moisturizer on at the end of the treatment, you can use that final third. That's a nice way of doing it because maybe the client here, we can talk about the product, we can explain that it's a new product and that we can use that under our moisturizer, and they can kind of get an idea of how to apply it if they were going to take this and use this at home as well. All right, so that is our first ampule. We're moving on now to our flash ampule. So flash ampule is the one that is sage green in color. Again, you're getting those 7 ampules. Each of those ampules has the 2 ml. It's the same packaging, but it's a different set of ingredients and it's a slightly different color. It's a paler green. So who is the flash ampule for? It's for ages 35 plus. So it's clients showing signs of aging. It's for clients that need a vitality boost, clients looking to support the skin through the aging process. Again, this is not for sensitive or reactive skin. It is predominantly an aging treatment. So it is for preventing and treating aging, not for on sensitive skins. So again, with your flash ampules, again, they're in our box, salon and retail the same, 7 ampules inside. As we did before, we can take our ampule out. This time I can take it from the front. And you've got your breaker there. So we'll break our ampule in the same way. That'll snap cleanly in half, and then you can get your dropper out of the box. Remember, that's hidden away at the end of the box, so you're going to need to open it up, slide it out to get that other dropper, and then you can pop your dropper on. And exactly the same as for the previous ampule, turn it, let it drop through to there. Few drops, half an ampule onto your fingertips and massage over the face, not over handling it. So say you can just then keep that dropper for the next bottles and don't keep this in direct sunlight. The benefits of the flash ampule: it promotes cell growth and the growth of keratinocytes, which improves that skin barrier function. So it's helping with cell turnover, strengthening the skin barrier. The main action here, and we're going to look at this in a lot more detail, it strengthens the skin immunity by targeting and acting directly on immunity cells known as our Langerhans cells. So it's going to strengthen that immunity, and it's going to help with our response to inflammation. Flash ampule increases the cell turnover and encourages the skin to act in a more youthful way. So let's have a look at some new technology that we're using in here. What we have in here, we've talked about amino acids a lot with genetic, and we've talked about peptides, which are chains of amino acids. But what we have in here is a biomimetic peptide. So let's look what that is. A biomimetic peptide, they are synthetic peptides that are lab crafted to mimic naturally occurring peptides. So bio means life and mimetic means imitating, so life imitating. The biomimetic peptide that we're using in this flash ampule mimics a peptide called thymopoietin. This is a polypeptide hormone secreted by the thymus gland naturally. So naturally our thymus gland creates this thymopoietin, and we'll look at what happens to the thymus gland, but that starts to age and this thymopoietin is no longer produced naturally. So this affects the rate at which your skin ages and the way the skin responds to inflammation. So thymopoietin is going to help with that response to inflammation in the skin. So let's have a look at the thymus gland. So the thymus gland sits here. The thymus gland is considered an immune system organ, like your tonsils and your adenoid. The thymus rests on the heart and functions as a schoolhouse for immune cells. So what happens is cells pass through the thymus gland, they're trained to become T cells. These are white blood cells that fight infection. So the thymus is special in that, unlike most organs, it is at its largest in children. So your thymus gland reaches its maximum size when you're a teenager, then it slowly starts to shrink. The shrinking is due to the reduced role of the thymus in adulthood. So the immune system produces most of its T cells when it's in childhood and requires very few new T cells after puberty. So naturally our thymus gland will shrink. The thymus also produces and secretes thymosin, which induces a protein called thymopoietin. And this is the one we're talking about. So thymopoietin has a direct effect on the speed at which our skin ages. So what does the biomimetic peptide do? So this highly purified ingredient compensates for the natural loss of that thymic factor associated with the decline of the thymus with age. This biomimetic peptide compensates for the decline of the youth hormone thymopoietin. So the thymopoietin has a direct effect on the speed at which your skin ages. So actions of that peptide is going to help increase cell turnover, and the biomimetic peptide stimulates the activity of Langerhans cells. Langerhans cells boost the skin's immune defense. These cells also determine the appropriate immune response to inflammation or tolerance. So what we're going to look at now is what happens with inflammation in the skin. So you may have heard of inflammation. This is a word that's been sort of thrown around in the beauty industry a lot, and we'll look at why inflammation is so closely linked to aging. So there's two types of inflammation that affect the skin. We have acute inflammation, and I've got a picture here of a girl that's knocked her knees. So acute inflammation is your body's immediate response to negative stimuli. It's typically has a rapid onset and lasts a few days before normalizing. So you bump your knee, you feel immediate pain, and over the next few hours you experience swelling, warmth, redness as your body sends fluid and white blood cells to the area. But after several days, these symptoms minimize and it goes away and the inflammation reduces. So let's have a look at what chronic inflammation is. So chronic inflammation is what we're talking about when we're talking about inflammation. So chronic inflammation, on the other hand, it's constant. Environmental stresses and unhealthy lifestyle habits are to blame for this type of inflammatory response. In such cases, negative stimuli linger and set off an unhealthy cycle of inflammation that goes largely undetected. And it's continuous, so this chronic inflammation doesn't go away. So this inflammation lasts, and then it has a knock-on effect on the skin, and we'll look at that in a minute. So what causes chronic inflammation? Pollution, stress, UV damage, poor diet, lack of sleep. Stress is a major cause of chronic inflammation. So our body is under constant stress. Inflammation is our body's natural defense mechanism to combat the effects of stress. As we age, our body becomes less efficient at turning off this inflammatory response, and the Langerhans cells are what determine that. And that's how this biomimetic peptide links in with this. It's going to help turn off that inflammation. So the body goes into a chronic, low-grade inflammatory ongoing status that damages tissue, including our skin. So how does inflammation affect the skins? It slows down cell renewal, so the body's ability to generate new skin cells become compromised, so it's slowing down that natural cell turnover. It slows down collagen and elastin production. So collagen and elastin, we know, are both vital components of youthful, healthy skin. So if we're in an inflamed state, that collagen production is slowing. It also drops our hyaluronic acid levels as well. And hyaluronic acid, or HA, helps us maintain hydrated, youthful skin. So inflammation causes that hyaluronic acid level to drop, which leads to chronically dehydrated skin and an impaired barrier. So just to recap on why this is linking in with that biomimetic peptide. The biomimetic peptide in the flash ampule compensates for the decline of the youth hormone thymopoietin. So thymopoietin is naturally produced by the thymus gland. The biomimetic peptide in the flash ampule stimulates the activity of Langerhans cells. These cells boost the skin's immune system and determine the appropriate immune response either to inflammation or to tolerance. Now, I've given you a lot of information there. Now, that is not information you need to pass on to your client. This is information so you understand what this is doing. If we go back up to here, this is what we want to talk to our client about. So it's going to help speed up that cell renewal and maintain it. It's going to improve our collagen and elastin production, and it's going to mean that our hydration, that hyaluronic acid, stays present in the skin and our skin's nice and plump and dewy. By not having that inflammation, these are the benefits. So the benefits of the biomimetic peptide visible to the skin, it's going to strengthen the skin barrier and immunity by helping Langerhans cells respond appropriate to that stress. It's going to reduce redness and inflammation, offering a more even skin tone. It's going to boost collagen and elastin production. It's going to increase that hyaluronic production, and it's going to improve that cell turnover. So all in all, the skin is going to look more youthful, more even, and more radiant. So on top of that biomimetic peptide, we also in the flash ampule have honey locust. Now, honey locust also has that bra in a jar lifting effect on the skin. So it has a skin tightening effect. The honey locust has an instant skin tightening action with immediate reduction in the appearance of wrinkles, fine lines, and frown lines. So it mechanically stretches and tightens over the skin for smoother and younger looking skin, giving lifted results for up to 72 hours. We also have an ingredient in the flash ampule called the sausage tree extract, or Africana Kigliana. Now this, you can see it's called the sausage tree extract because if you look at it, when it hangs off the tree, it looks like a sausage. And in there, we're going to use the seeds. So it's very dense in antioxidant phytochemicals. It's proven for potent antioxidant activity to help fight free radicals. It also helps deliver essential nutrients to damaged or sensitive skins to support healing and radiance. Kigliana is also known for its ability to firm and improve the elasticity of the skin, so it's working on collagen and elastin. It's got some beautiful fatty esters in there to moisturize and plump the skin. It's got natural steroids to soothe irritated skin, and those phytosteroids will actually help with the barrier protection as well. An interesting fact, those of you that love parfait, the sausage tree extract is also found in our parfait line. And that's one of the things that gives remarkable results in the parfait line is that Kigliana extract. So home use, I'm going to recap this because it's exactly the same for this as it is for the lift. So again, it's advised to use the express ampule for 14 days in the morning, at least 4 times a year seasonally. So again, you use the ampule breaker to snap off the top. Once it's opened, use the enclosed cap and dropper by placing it into the ampule and use it as a dropper. We're going to prepare the skin in the same way, so you can do your cleansing with your glycofibro, then apply half of the ampule to the face, neck, and décolleté, and then we follow with our treatment creams. Here, beautiful treatment creams to complement this are going to be things like your GERLIFT and your Vital Transfer. You can definitely use Nuclear in this as well. There's nothing you can't use with it. I've put GERLIFT and Vital Transfer because that fits the age group, but so does Nuclear. Then our Synchro, you can use Parfait day and night with this if you wanted to do a real boost to the skin, or just use over the top of your Synchro, your Symbiose cream. Tip, the lift cream again can be applied in its entirety for an instant radiance effect. So if we're using it, we've done our course and we want to keep these ampules in our routine, just weekly apply the full ampule underneath our moisturizer and then follow with your treatment creams. During the day is best because remember, it's got that lifting effect. In the case of the flash ampule, that's giving you that 72-hour lift. In the salon, again, we cleanse and tone the skin with our glyco and fibro, carry out our exfoliation. Again, I'm recommending that you do the preliminary step of mito and immunomask. You don't have to, but by using mito, remember it's energizing the skin, increasing that ATP, so it's really going to prep the skin for our ampule. Then we can apply the full ampule and continue it with our selected treatment cream. So I'll put GERLIFT Vital Transfer there again, carry on with our massage, and then our treatment mask, then remove and apply our protective day cream. Again, with this, don't overhandle the product, apply it onto the hands and straight onto the client. And as I said before, with the other ampule, you can split the use of this if you want to. So if you want to use 2/3 of the ampule after your exfoliation and your preliminary step, you can, and then you can keep that final third to use under the day cream at the end, just to show your client how you're applying it and for them to experience it. So just to recap sort of what we've been through and how we can also add this in. How often do I use the ampules? Course recommendation, we recommend that a 14-day home cure is carried out. So that's half an ampule in the morning for 14 days, about 4 times a year. So saying seasonally, so spring, summer, autumn, winter is always a nice time to do that. There is, however, no negative impact of more frequent ampule use. So if your client loves this, they can continue to use it. There's going to be nothing negative that happens. If the client loves the results of the ampule, they may repeat the ampule course more regularly, or use, as I've said, 1 or 2 a week in the morning, use the full ampule underneath their genetic treatment cream. We can definitely use this as a party ampule as well. So if we've got these ampules at home, we've got a special event coming up, we're going out with the girls, we can use this with a mask before an event, or we can use it weekly. So to do that with a mask, you cleanse and prepare you with glyco and fibro, you can exfoliate, you apply your entire ampule. Then we could use a home care genetic mask. You could use Immuno, I Love Hydrogel for radiance, or your marine mask, and then leave that on the skin for 10 to 15 minutes, remove it, and then follow with your treatment cream as a radiance ampule weekly or before an event. You can also cleanse it with your glyco and fibro, put your entire ampule on, and then follow with your treatment cream. So remember, it's going to give you that lift and give you that instant radiance. So those are our 2 beautiful new ampules. Just to give you a quick recap on both of those ampules, and so you can see them next to each other, you can see that the lift ampule here is this baby blue color. And I've been saying baby blue for the younger clients and baby blue, and it has that Botox effect. So it's a bright blue ampule for ages 25 plus. It's got an instant lift on the skin. It contains that marfane plant extract, which has that Botox effect. It has a preventative action by minimizing the appearance of lines and wrinkles, and it also has that long-term effect of stimulating collagen and elastin. Our flash ampule, you can see, is that sage green in color. This is for age 35 plus. It has an immediate mechanical tensor effect. Remember, this one gives you the 72-hour lift on the skin. It strengthens the skin barrier and skin immunity with those biomimetic peptides. And it increases cell turnover, improves collagen production, and it will also help a little bit with puffiness and draining the lymphatic in the way that it acts on the skin. So those 2 ampules are both phenomenal. We've had really great results using them. I hope you have fun playing with them in the treatment rooms and introducing them to your clients. You're always welcome to give Jemima or myself, Danielle, a call if you do have any further questions. But thank you for your time, and have fun.